Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Magnus and today we are going to increase the lab a bit. Remember this video, checkpoint deployment in real world? In this video I talked about the management servers need to be like scalable, flexible, go as much core and memory as possible, as big box as possible. Whenever possible, split out the functions. So in this case we will not add the identity collector, we will add that later on when we have built like an AD and so on and connected to the lab, but we are going to do that one. We're going to do the dedicated log server. So currently we have this environment, so we have our management station up here in the left corner. We have our Windows 10 machine running the smart console so we can manage the management server. Then we have our cluster providing us with internet. And what we will do is to add a second management server. So we will add this in VMware, we will add it in VMnet 6 and we will give it an IP address and we will put it on the same VLAN as the management server. It doesn't need to be, but it needs to have connectivity to the management server. And we will do it in an easy way, and normally you have your management stations, your log servers on the same place. And if you then want to like transfer your old log files and so on to a dedicated server further away, fine by me. But when it comes to the management station, the event server, the log server and so on, I normally place them in the same dedicated network. And honestly, I don't have my client, so to say, in the same network. This is a separate network, a management network. So this is a management station to manage everything. It's not our normal clients here. We just do this for the lab's sake. So what would the reason be why to have a dedicated log server? Well, first of all, I mean, currently our management station, it's using like 3% CPU, so it's no problem. But if we would log into this one, for example, let's log into the management station on Secure CRT. So first of all, well, our management station is not doing anything, but we only have one client, so we don't really hammer it with logs and so on. Regarding disk space, if I do like this, clear def -h for human readable. So we see here that we have a log partition, var/log, and we have 48 gigs available. 48 gigs within a production environment is not a lot. If I would talk about my own environment, we log more than 48 gigs per day. How long do you actually need to save your logs? Well, I would say up to 1 year. If you Google how long does it actually take for a company to notice a breach within their computer systems, the average time, if I just check the first result on Google, is, well, 200 days. So it's not enough to log 90 days. I would say log 1 year, then you're on the safe side. You don't need to have all the logs on your management station or your log server. You can ship it off to like a log storage, so you can gzip the logs to save some space. If you gzip the logs from Checkpoint, they will use about 10% of the space. But keep in mind, you cannot gzip everything. You need to keep the first, let's say, 30 days on your management station so you can search it easy within the smart console. Normally when someone asks you for log files within a firewall, either it's the last like 14 days or it's 6 months back. And if someone is asking for log files 6 months back, they don't expect you to be able to provide those within 5 minutes. You can take some more time. If someone is asking for a log file the last day, they will expect you to answer within 5 minutes. So keep the newest logs where it's easable to search for them, and that's the smart console within the Checkpoint for the Checkpoint firewall. Of course, you can ship it to like a CM system, so you have like centralized logging in like, I don't know, Elk Stack or whatever. But just keep in mind, try to save logs as long as possible. It's not always possible to save the logs forever and ever. There are rules and regulation on what you're allowed to save and how long, but I would say 1 year is what you should save them. Okay, so let's create a dedicated log server for this environment. So we want to create a new virtual machine, and this should be fairly similar to the existing management station. And if I remember correctly, We have something like 4 CPUs, we have 8 gigs of memory, 300 gigs of storage, and it's in VMnet 6. So let's do something similar. New virtual machine. So let's do an advanced. So we have workstation 15, and I just selected the image. We were going to install it on R80. 40, so it needs to be the same version as your management station. They will act together, so to say, so they need to be on the same version and hotfix. And then next, and we will select Red Hat Enterprise Linux 5, 64 bits. We will call it cplog, and we will place this virtual machine somewhere. So we have the virtual machine name and we have the location, and this is a nice SSD disk now, so it's quite fast. And then we pick, I would say, 1 core, 1 processor and 4 cores, and let's give it 8 gigs of RAM. And let's do this for now. We will change this. Recommended, and create the new virtual disk. That's okay. And let's do the disk to, I think the other one was 300 gigs, so let's just give this 300 gig as well. It's a lab, so it's okay. Within production, I would say 1 terabyte or 2 terabytes for a log server. And here we will do customize hardware, because we need to add a NIC. So we will do a network adapter, and we will connect it to VMnet 6, and VMnet 6 is the same network that our management station is on. So close. And I think that we are done now, so just finish. And let's power this one on. So here we see, if you haven't seen this, I have made a different video where we do the installation. If you want to see it a bit slower, I will just go through this quite fast. So install, and as I said before, I have an AMD CPU, so it will give some alerts. Within real production, AMD is not supported, only Intel CPUs are supported. Within VMware it doesn't really matter, but this is workstation, so it's a bit different. Do you wish to install? Yes, I want. And Swedish keyboard. And here we have the root partition. I normally take like 150 gigs. We couldn't do that, so let's do 100. And you see here we still have 50 gigs of logs. Keep in mind here, you see that the backup and upgrades, it takes a lot of disk space. So what I normally do is I install something like this. I don't pick 1 terabyte from start. I do like 400 gigs or something. And then after the installation, I add an additional disk. So I just give that additional disk to the logs partition. So let's do OK. And the password. OK. And we don't have DHCP. And let's check what IP addresses we should have. So we should have 201 in the end. 201. And default gateway is .1. And it's a /24. And we want to continue. Okay, the installation is complete so far, so just reboot the box. Alright, and as you know, if you log in here, it will says that you need to configure the first time wizard with the web GUI. So we go to the Windows 10 machine, and we open up the web browser, so HTTPS, and then we go to the management station that we have not yet installed, and proceed. And this is the first time wizard, so we see here that it's in VMware. If it's an appliance or an open server and so on, you will see it here. Next, and we want to continue with an R8040 configuration. We already set the interfaces, and the default gateway and so on is correct. Then we want to put the host name, so cplog, and currently we don't have a domain. We do have, well, we use Google as DNS server. And then next, normally you should use NTP. This is a lab. I don't have an NTP set up currently, but I'm in Stockholm, or actually I'm in Halmstad, but it's in Sweden, and this is in Sweden. And this is a security gateway or a security management server, yes. And this is a management server, and it's defined here. This is a log server. So first time we did install a primary management server, but we are installing a dedicated log server. So let's continue. Next, and blah blah blah. Yeah. So it's actually good to read this warning sign sometimes, because here it actually says alert, and it says that it's highly recommended to keep the settings enabled. And you will notice later in the video why this is highly recommended to actually keep this enabled. So don't do my mistake here, just enable it and you will save let's say 30 minutes of work. And we still use the Gaia administrator. We don't create a new one here. And the GUI, well, I like to lock this down. And we need to create the SIC key. You can read about it here. But more or less, it's if you want to connect something to your existing environment, you need to have a one-time password. And this is the SIC. I have a video about it. I will link it in the description above, somewhere here. Because this one is used for connecting it, and then it will generate the certificate and so on, and the rest of the communication will be with the certificates. So this one is only temporary, and I have just put in checkpoint as my password here, and that's why it's weak. Next, and I don't send data to checkpoint here. Finished, yes. And this will take a few minutes, and when this is done, we can connect it to the management station within the smart console. Alright, so the first time wizard is successful, so press OK. And let's check and add the latest HFA before we add it to the management station. So we go down here and status, and hopefully it takes here after a while. Show all packages. Let's see, check for update. And we get an error. Why do we get an error? Let's see. Check for updates. DNS. Okay, let's see that we have DNS. We have a DNS, and do we have a default gateway? I think so. Yeah, we have a default gateway. So, well, let's log into it then. And we do copy. Can you do that here? Copy, paste. Properties, and we change this to 1. And 1. And we call it cplog. and we change this one to CPU management. So we know what. So the log accept, and we have our account lock database override, set expert password, and expert netstat-rn, that's how you see the default gateway and so on. ifconfig is how you see all the interfaces, and let's do ping. And we can ping, so we actually have internet. So let's see within the firewall, do we permit HTTPS from this network? So let's search 192.168.1.201, and we have a lot of Google here. Do we net the traffic? Yes, we do, and we could surf. So why is this not working? Maybe it just took some time. Trial license, cannot connect to the cloud. Let's do like this. Show all packages. Deployment version, which one do we have? 1848. Cannot connect to Checkpoint Cloud. The administrator did not authorize downloads. For more information, refer to this one. Okay, let's check that one. I actually not seen that one before. Support center. Well, here it is. And we do that SK. Let's see. This one. So here you have that part in the SK during introduction. In the first time configuration we set on Gaia OS, you have the option to enable or disable automatic downloads of Blade contract, checkpoint releases, hotfix via CPUs. So this is the reason why we're not able to download something from CPUs. It's fixable to do this, but the issue is that the gateway or the management station need to be connected to the management station, and our log server is not yet connected to the management station, and to connect it in a good way we need to have the same version. So let's continue the video. Let's do an update to this one. So we take this one, last official build, we download that one, download, and we put it in the download, so it's soon done. Perfect, and we go back to our Windows 10 host, we do install deployment agent. That one, download, this one, install. Let's fix this one first, so we just see that it's working correctly. And in worst case, we just import the package manually. We can do that as well. We don't need to troubleshoot too much. This point is just to show you that we can installation successfully. Okay, nice. Let's do like this. So we have the new deployment agent, and we still cannot, the administrator did not authorize downloads. And do this one. So we have web surfing, and we hide it. Do we have any drops? We don't have any drops. Well, that's just strange. But, well, let's fix this. So we do import package, because I think that we have the... I think that we have the correct one already downloaded. 67, is that correct? Let's check. Let's see what we have on that one. I think we did upgrade it. So here we have 77. So let's download 77 or 8040 jumbo hotfix. And we want to have 77. So this one. And we take 77, was it that? 77, okay. Let's see if we have that one done. 77. This is general availability, GA. Can we download that one? 78. Maybe down here. No. We need 77. Let's update this one as well. So we update that one, install. It's nice to have a lab so you can actually test stuff. Okay, now this is fixed. That's perfect. Now checking for new packages. Let's see if this one can find anything. Yeah, it can find 78. So we do like this then. We do download. So we download this one in the GUI here, and we download 78 manually. So we do an upgrade. In production, maybe not. So download, and we take that one as well. Perfect. And we go back here to this one. So it's downloading quite fast. By the way, if you need this one, you can just export the package. So we have the package here fairly soon. So we will do it on our take 77. Yes, we have the same. So I'm downloading it from the gateway, and you just do more export packages, and then you have the tar file. So let's go back into this one and import package, download, and we have 77 here, and we import it here. So we can get the same version if we don't find it on Checkpoint's website. So let's install this one quickly, and then we just add it to the management station. So we have it downloaded successfully. That's perfect. And hopefully we should be able to do... We do a verifier first. Just see that doesn't work as well. Ah, yeah, it works. Oh, I got scared. So my buttons are disappearing, but let's do install update, and we are on the log server. So let's install the update, and after that we're going to connect it to the management station. Hopefully this works. This is a lab, so it can fail. I don't know. I haven't done this before within this environment. So you are the first, same as me. I have installed log servers before, but not like this. And in the meantime, well, we have 78 here. Perfect. So this is ready to go as well. But let's wait for this one. Alright, so the system is rebooting. So let's give it a few seconds, and then it will be up and running again. Alright, so the machine is up and running, and it should be on HFA 77. Let's see if it is. and I do like this, and yes, it's on 77. All right, so let's connect this to the management station. So we have here gateways and servers, and we don't see our log server here. So let's create a log server, and we do this one, new, and we are, what are we? Checkpoint host, and we call it CP log, and we have an IP address of 192.168.1.201, and it's a management station, and it's logging and status, and it's an open server, it's R8040, and let's press here, communication. So here we do checkpoint, initialize, trust established, close, and let's see, we need to press enable log index, yeah, that's good. We need to have storage, disk management. We can do this one. We only keep the index for 14 days, and log files are kept, well, very long. Additional logging, we don't forward, we do create a new log file at midnight, and well, that's okay. So press OK, and did we get something here? Yeah, here, open server. So let's do publish, and what do we need to do more? Well, we need to install the database. So this one, install database, and we want to install the database on both the management station and the log server. And the database is installed on the log server here, as you see, and it's installed on the management station as well. Okay, so do we actually get any logs to the server? Well, first of all, you see here that we did do logs, and we did enable logging. That's really good. But you see here, there is no gateways configured to have this as a log server, because there is nothing listed here. Storage, we have some delete options and so on. We have some additional things here, like forward log files to log server. Well, and we have this one. This is really important to have, or I think so at least. Because then it's a lot easier to see the logs. And if we check our old management station under logs, storage, let's see what it says here. That's okay. But here we need to change this one to forward it to the CP log. We need to do it at midnight. And it should also create log files, or it should create new log files every midnight. So let's do and fix that first, and publish. And what do we need to do more? Well, we need to change this firewall cluster. So double click on the firewall cluster, and we want to do the same here. So logs, currently we have it to send to the CP management station. Well, that we don't want. Now we have a dedicated log server, so let's change this. So minus on this one, and we do a new one here. So we send it to the CP log, and if this one is not reachable, well, then we can send it to the CP management station. So now we have two targets, and this one, it forwards the logs to the CP log when it's back up, so that's okay. Local log storage, we still need to have that if both our management station and our log server is down. And here we have created forward log files. Well, that should be to the CP log, and not to the management station. And we create new log files every midnight, so okay. And let's publish these changes like this, and install policy on everything. So let's see what happens. Hopefully this works. Do you actually know where to find the log files? I told you they have a specific partition, and that's true. But the log files is a bit tricky to find if you don't know about it. So I will show you how to do it. Okay, so we have it turned off. That's strange. Maybe we did turn it off. I don't remember. So it's soon done. But I think that we should just install the database on the CP log and the management station as well, just to make sure. Identity logging, well, that we should do, but then we need the identity server and so on. We don't have that right now. Okay, so successful, perfect. Let's just install the database. And the reason why I do this is because we did do a lot of changes on both the management station and the CP log, the log server, so to say. So in this case, we just do it. Normally, you don't need to install the database on everything after you have done a policy installation. This is just because we did do a lot of changes. So here we have our secure CRT. Let's just verify that we actually have logs. So if we have here, you see here, log file has been switched. Okay, that's nice. Let's see. We don't have any logs now. Why is that? Which log server do we have? Well, we need to press plus here. Did you see that? We did only check this one, not that one. So press OK. Now we see logs again. You see here, if we remove that one, enter, we have no logs. So this is the log server. Just make sure to click in this one, and then you will see the logs. Perfect. So where do you actually find the logs on the log server, or the management server for that sake? Well, let's log into the management station and the log server. So we do the CP log, and we do expert, and just check that we actually have a log partition here. Well, df-h, so it looks the same. So here's the var log, so we can jump there. cd var/log, and if we do ls, do we see something? Well, I actually don't see any log files here. So where is the log files? Well, they are here. So $fwdir log, and here ls. Did you see that? And did you notice something else? All the log files has been transferred. Where are we? Well, we are in the CP log machine. So we did go to this one, cd $fwdir/log/, and there we did do an ls, and here we have the log files, and you see that we have per day, and that's because the gateway did have, so it should create a new log file per day. Is this from the gateway? No, this is from the CP management. From the gateway, it will look like this. So here we have the CP management, CP gateway 1. So it adds the host name to the log files. So it's really easy to find it. So this is the log files. Should we check if we have any on the management station? Of course. Let's check. And we do to expert df-h, Well, we're using 3.9 gigs there. So let's go there, cd, and then $fw dir log. And if you don't know about this the dollar sign, you can check the correct path like this. So the log files are here under opt CPUSE R80.x Firewall 1 log. But this is a shortcut, and this is a shortcut that you should be aware of. So ls. So here we don't have any log files anymore. The log files was here before, but they have been transferred here. Because today is October. This box is installed 2 hours ago. How can this have logs from August? Well, that's because we have forwarded the logs to the log server. So if we check top here on the log server, we see that this is not using more or less anything. If you have a lot more logs, like bigger things, then you will see some processes here like smart log and so on. I don't see them here. Smart log, it's not taking up anything. Log indexer, you did see there. Log indexer. This is normal for a log server, and that it's indexing the log files. So cd fw dir ls, and here you have the log files. And if you want to see all the logs files at once, you can do ls -l for list. Then you do the path that you want to check in. Fw dir log / and you can do *.log. This is all the log files that you have on this management station. Do you see here? So this ls space -l for list, the dir, and then we have a star, and this is for anything, and then you have .log. So it allows for any name like this, but it requires that it has .log and it's in that specific folder. Thank you for sticking with me for the last, I don't know, 35 minutes. If you did, thank you, and I'm quite impressed that you actually stayed. Please let me know what you want to see next. I'm open for suggestion, and consider to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that. And I'd like to thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.